And welcome to Astra49 Reads Piercing the Darkness by Frank E. Peretti. I am not even going to pretend like I can pronounce that last name. I found this book abandoned at a laundromat, and it was still there by the time I finished my laundry, and no one ever came to claim it. It has been sitting on my shelf for so long that the pages have done turned yellow, and I personally have no idea what it's about. So, I guess we're going to find out today together, shall we? Piercing the Darkness. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff down below. Here we go. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:05. It could have begun in any town. It could have begun in any town. Beacon's Corner was nothing special, just one of those little farming towns, far from the interstate, nothing more than a small, hollow dot on the AAA road map with exit signs that offered gas, no lodging, maybe a little food if the places was open, then little more. But it began in Beacon's Corner. It was a normal Tuesday evening. The workday was over. Supplier was on in most of the houses. Oh, supper was on in most of the homes. The stores were locking up, and the tavern was filling up. All the employees at the Bergen Door Company had clocked out, and the security guard was checking the locks. Mr. Miller's son was beginning all the lawnmowers and tilers in for the night at the Miller's Feed and Farm Store. The lights were winking out in the local mercantile. Two retires sat in their chairs in front of the barber shop, putting in their idle hours. The fields and farms right across the Toe Spring Claytonville Road were getting warm and greener with each day, and now the evening breeze was carrying a lot of mid-April smells, apple and cherry blossoms, plowed dirt, a little mud, some cattle, some Maris, whatever that word is. It was a normal Tuesday evening. No one expected anything unusual. No one saw or heard a thing. No one could have, but the commotion started behind a small rented farmhouse just south of Fred Potter's place. A flipping, a fluttering, a free-for-all, and then a cry. A long, eerie shriek, an echoing, sobering wail that raced into the forest like a train whistling through a town. Loud, muffled, moving this way and that through the trees like a hunted animal Then a flash of light, a fireball blinking and burning through the forest, moving with blinding speed right behind the siren, almost on top of it. More cries and screams, more flashing light. Suddenly, the forest was filled with them. The trees ended up abrupting where the Amherst's dairy began. The course broke into the open. First out of the forest came a bug, a bat, a black, bald-eyed thing, its dark wings whirling, its breath pouring out like a long yellow ribbon. It just couldn't fly fast enough, but clawed the air with its spidery arms, desperate for speed and shrieking in total panic. Right behind it, so close, so dangerously close, the sun itself explode, exploded out from the forest. A brilliant comet with wings of fire tracing a gleaming trail, a sword of light outstretching in blurry bronze hands, a black thing, and the comet shot into the sky above Beacon's Corner, zigzagging, shooting it this way and that like wild firecrackers. Then the forest, like a row of cannons, spewed out more hideous creatures, at least 20, each one fleeing in utter panic with a dizzying, flaming figure trancing on its trail, scattering in all directions like a crazed meteor shower in reverse. The first demon was running out of tricks and avarice. He could feel the heat of the warrior's blade right at his heel. He spit over his shoulder. No, turn away. I am going. The fiery blade cut an arc through the sky. The demon met in with its own, and the blow sent him spinning. He corrected with his wings, turned and faced his assailant, shrieking curses, parrying blow after blow, looking into the fiery eyes of more power, more gorgeous, more holiness than he'd ever feared before, and he could see it in those eyes. The warrior could never turn away. Never. The demon rethered, even before the blade sunk its final blow. It split from the earth, from the world of mankind, into utter darkness, gone in a trembling puff of red smoke. What in the hell am I reading right now? The warrior turned and soared high, spinning his long sword above his head, tracing a circle of light. He burned with the heat of battle. The 40, whatever that word is, of righteousness. His fellows were consumed with it, striking demons from the sky like fell insects, vanquishing them with strong swords, relentlessly pursuing them, and hearing no pleas. No, seriously, what the heck am I reading right now? On the right, a long, shattery spirit took one more swipe at his heavenly assailant before curling tightly and agony and vanishing. On the left, a loud-mouthed blasting imp cursed and taunted his opponent, filling the air with blasphemy. He was quick and confident, and just began to think he might prevail. His head was spinning from his body, while the proud sneer still twisted the face, and then he was gone. There was one left. It was spinning, tumbling on one wing. I'll go, it pleaded. Your name, ordered the angel. Despair. The warrior swatted the demon away with the flat of his blade, and it fled, gone, yet still able to work evil. No, seriously, what the heck is this? And then it was over. The demons were gone, but not soon enough. Is she all right? Asked Nath. Nath, the Abrakan? Sheathing his sword. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Armith, the African, had made sure she's alive, if that's what you mean. The mighty Prometheus model added, injured and frightened. She wants to get away. She won't wait. And now despair is fleeing. Now despair is free to harass her, and singeth the something or other. I'm not even going to pronounce that. Armith replied, then it's begun, and there will be no stopping it. Okay, seriously, what the hell is this? Sally Rose lay in the grass, clenching her throat and gasping for air, taking long, desperate breaths, trying to clear her head, trying to think. A raw wit was rising on her neck. Her plaid shirt was reddened from a wound in her shoulder. She kept looking towards the goat pen, but nothing stirred there. There was no life, nothing left to harm her. I have to get a move on. I have to get moving. Oh, I have to get moving. I can't stay here. No, not one more minute. She struggled to her feet and immediately rested against the farmhouse, her world spinning. She was still nauseous, even though she'd already lost everything twice. Don't wait. Go. Get moving. What in the hell? She struggled up. She struggled up the back porch steps every once, but kept going. She wasn't taking much with her. She couldn't. There wasn't time. Ed and Moose were quite comfortable, thank you, just sitting there in front of Max's barber shop right right on Front Street, which is what they call the Toe Spring Claytonville Road, where it passes through town. Ed was 68 and Moss wouldn't tell anyone his age. Okay. So nobody asked him anymore. Both their wives were gone now. God bless them. Both men had pretty good retirements and Social Security, and lives for them had slowed to a comfortable crawl. Ain't biting, Ed. You should have moved downriver, Mose. Downriver they got cracky swimming. Clear up to your place. You gotta catch 'em in good mood. Okay. Moose listened to the first part, but not the second. He was starting at a green Paramuth, hurrying towards town with two upset children in the back seat. Ed, now, don't we know those kids there? Where? Well, why don't you look where I'm pointing? Ed looked, but all he could see was the back end of the Plymouth and just the top of two blonde heads in the back seat. Well, he said, shading his eyes, you got me there. Oh, you never look when I tell you. I know who they were. They were that school teacher's kids. That, what's his name? Hmm. I'm pretty sure that's a name, but I can't even begin to pronounce it. Iron? Bleedshoe? Sped through the Toe Spring Clayville Road wearing a scowl that added at least a decade to her already cracked face. She kept her fists tightly around the wheel and her foot on the gas pedal, springing the green Plymouth onward, whether Rent and Josie Ho liked it or not. Hmm? You two be quiet now, she yelled over her shoulder. Believe me, we're doing this for your own good. Bleashue's words brought no comfort to Rent 6 and Joshua 9. Rent kept crying, I want my daddy. Joshua could only sit there silent, numb with shock and disbelief. Bloodshoe hit the throttle hard. She just wanted to get out of town before there was any more trouble, any more attention. She was not enjoying this assignment. The things I do for those people. Huh. Okay, I seriously have no idea what in the hell is going on in this story. Whatever. Sally stepped out into the back porch, still trembling, looking warily about. She changed her shirt and donned a blue jacket. She grabbed her wadded up, blood-stained plaid shirt in one hand and a paper towel dripped in cooking oil in the other. It was quiet all around, as if nothing had happened. Her old blue pickup was waiting, but there was still one more thing to do. She looked towards the goat pen. Its gate swung wide open, and the goats long gone. She took some deep breaths to keep her Anusa, whatever, from coming back. I think it's supposed to be anxiety. She had to go into that little shed one more time. She just had to. It didn't take long. With her heart racing, her hands now empty, and her pockets stuffed, she got out of there and ran for the truck. Clambering inside, it cracked and groaned and started up, and with a surge of power and a spray of gravel, it rumbled down the long driveway towards the road. Iris Bloodshoe was speeding, but there was no cops around. The speed limit was improperly away, just really impractical. Whatever. She was coming to a four-way stop. Another stupid idea. Clear out of here in the middle of nowhere. She eased back on the throttle and figured she could just sneak through. What? Where'd? She hit the brakes, the wheels locked, and the tires screamed. The car fishtailed. Some idiot in a blue pickup truck swerved widely through the intersection, trying to avoid her. Little Runt was belted in. She smacked her head and started screaming. The Plymouth skidded to a stop, almost facing the way they'd come. Be quiet, Bloodshoe shouted at the little girl. You be quiet. You're all right. Now Joshua was crying too, scared to death. He wasn't belted in either, and had quite a tumble back there. You two kids shut up, Bloodshoe screamed. Just shut up now. Joshua could see a lady get out of the pickup truck. She had red hair and a checkered scarf on her head. She looked like she was about to cry, and she was holding her shoulder. Bloodshoe stuck her head out of the window and screamed a string of profanities at her. The lady didn't say a thing, but Bloodshoe must have scared her. The other drivers got back in her truck and drove off without saying a word. The idiot, said Bloodshoe, didn't see me, but you didn't stop, said Joshua. You didn't tell me how. Oh, you don't tell me how to drive, young man. And why isn't your seatbelt fastened? Runt was still screaming, holding her head. When she saw blood on her hands, she went hysterical. When Bloodshoe saw that she was saying, "Oh, great. Oh, that's just terrific." Okay, okay. Cicely Potter, Fred's wife, was glad that one of those fool goats wore a bell. At least she was able to hear something and run out into the yard before they ate up all her flowers. The two kids bolted and ran back towards the rental home. As for the doe, she thought she owned anything that grew, and she wasn't timid about it. You got, Sully shouted, waving her strong arms. Get out of my flowers. The doe backed off just a little, but then lowered her head, giving Celia a good look at her horns. Oh, you're really scary, said Celia. She ran right up, clamping, chomping any angry, clasping an angry fist around the doe's collar and lifted the doe's front legs off the ground and turning her around. You're going back where you came from, and right now, and don't you think you can scare me, whap. And you lower those horns right now. The doe went with Celia, whatever you pronounce her name, mostly on four legs, but on two if she even dare to hesitate and get more than two earfuls of sermoning that on the way. I don't know how you got out, but if you think you're going to run rampant around here, you've got another think coming. You've got another think coming? Okay. Sally's going to hear about this. She knows better. I'm really surprised. She crossed the field between the two houses and then saw the goat pen, its gate wide open. Sally, she called. There was no answer. The truck was gone. Maybe Sally wasn't home yet. Well, she was late then. She always came home from work before this, but how did that gate get open? She dragged the dough right alongside and through the gate. Back where you belong, old girl. No more of this free and easy stuff. Well, who was that in the shed, Sally? The dough suddenly free walked out through the still open gate. Celia didn't follow it. She was looking at the body of a woman thrown down in the straw like a discarded doll, limp and white. She was dead. What in the hell am I reading right now? Alright, well, that's gonna have to do for now. I will pick this back up later. I do hope all of you enjoy this madness. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We'll pick this back up as soon as possible. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And I will see all of you in the next video. Have a good day.